You have these 4 tabs where, look where my mouse is. You've got the brush tab. I'm going to start with that one. In the brush tab, you can go through all the rainbow of colors and choose which color you want. So I'll choose pink. And then you can put your mouse all over the pink and decide you want bright pink, soft pink, baby pink. You decide. The first brush is the S. That's your basic brush, and underneath it is the size. You can adjust the size to any size that you want. You see I can make it a little bit smaller. I can make it bigger. You can change it as much as you want. And undo is using those arrows, upper right corner. Okay, so I'm going to go turn the size down. I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to adjust the opacity. So you see I turn it down a little. And the second line is a little bit lighter, but you really can't tell with the naked eye. But what you'll see is every time I turn the opacity down, eventually you'll start seeing that it gets much lighter. There you can kind of tell. So opacity is like a darker or lighter tool. It makes the paint thicker or more watery, so to speak. And there it is, really low opacity. Okay, so I'm going to undo all of this by clicking on the arrows. This is the second kind of brush, and this brush, it kind of looks like maybe like a spray paint. It's sort of a thicker brush. And just like the others, I can turn the opacity to 100, and that'll be its darkest. I can change the size. I can change the opacity. There's also a blending option you can play around with. But basically, it works just like the other brushes. This third brush is kind of a fancy brush. It has this pattern on it. You can see the pattern. And just like the others, I will play with the opacity and the size. But you always, when you paint with this brush, you always get this little bit of pattern. Okay, the fourth brush is really like just a pen. And you'll see that when I draw with it, it looks very basic, like a pen. Of course, you can make it bigger. You can make it really big, and you can turn the opacity down, and it'll be lighter. And I'm going to undo that. Okay, last one is the eraser. It's the fifth one. I'm going to click on the eraser. Okay, click on the eraser, and then I can erase. So that's where the eraser is. And if you lower the opacity on the eraser, you can see how it like erases, but not quite. That's because the opacity is lower. So you can turn it down if you want, or you can just turn it all the way up. And there you go.